Okay, you're listening to Rodney on the Rock. I'd like to welcome in the studio Jello Biafra from the Dead Kennedys. Hey, Jello, congratulations on you just got married, didn't you?
Yeah.
I read about that. It was really nice.
Yeah, the cops showed up, but they just got out of the cars, and then they stared for a minute, and then they laughed.
Really?
Stood by there, about 200 people taking over a very posh graveyard on Halloween. We found it was, oddly enough, they had the Italian cemetery and the Chinese cemetery, but the rich people's cemetery was the easiest one to break into.
Great. Was Flipper there? Did Flipper play? Or?
No, what happened was we were going to have Black Flag and DOA play a video at the reception, but the PA never showed up. So with Flipper's guitar player and Chuck Dukowski and Greg, and then Dez was playing drums for a while with Robo playing Greg's guitar. All in all, it was about a 45-minute version of Damaged.
Wow.
With no vocals.
Who did you marry? Who's the lovely lady?
Her name's Teresa. I think you actually met her before.
Really? Was she here? Is she from L.A. or San Francisco?
No, she's from Contra Costa County, which is over the mountains from Oakland.
How was all that?
She was in a band called The Situations at one time.
Really? How was those, like, all these floods and all that in San Francisco? They actually closed the Golden Gate Bridge?
They were really annoying when they were happening, because my roof sprung about 5 leaks at once, and luckily it missed my record collection. But
with that bridge...
it turned out to be a very positive storm, because almost all the mudslides destroyed very, very expensive houses in very rich neighborhoods. So at least a lot of the damage, at least... You
ever notice that nothing ever happens to the poor people?
Well, usually it's the other way around. Well, maybe not.
I know, but
at any rate, it turns out that the more horror stories come out of the storm, the more amusing it becomes. I mean, your laid-back Santa Cruz having the National Guard run the city is kind of comical in a way.
Right. But I bet it was weird with the Golden Gate Bridge closed, because couldn't some, like, film crew go over there and go to town and, like, do some kind of a weird monster movie or something?
No, they'd probably block it off for that. They wouldn't do it during rush hour, though. They need the toll money.
Yeah.
So finance those vacations to Tahiti.
So, Joe, what brings you to L.A.? You guys going to be playing anywhere? Or?
Well, not at the moment. We're getting ready to record our second album, and so I'm talking to a couple people who might be involved in the production of it and help out on that end. And plus, we're about to release Let Them Eat Jelly Beans, a sampler of American underground bands in this country. So I'm kind of haggling out the last bit of that to make sure it gets at least some kind of promotion or whatever.
Will the American album be any different than the English? Some more songs, maybe?
Same bands and whatnot, but probably different liner notes and an updated list of bands on the poster. We decided to cut out all the bands that had broken up, and otherwise we'd wind up listing people clear back to 1945, let alone digging out all our old Avengers records. Trying to figure out who was what. So we're just going to limit it to bands that are currently together with disclaimers for that. Hey, the station's falling down.
Really?
Is it an earthquake or is it another mudslide?
I was going to say, I like the Bad Brains a lot on here.
Yeah, they're going to be coming out here hopefully within about 3 months. They have just finished a cassette album, which is only going to be released on cassette, unfortunately, on that Roar label in New York that did the Eight-Eyed Spy cassette. James Chance one, and
they did New York Dolls.
Yeah,
was it unreleased stuff?
Recorded live on a tape recorder whose batteries die through the whole thing. My friend bought 3 sets of batteries before he realized it wasn't his tape recorder that was dying when he played his Dolls tape.
Oh, no.
So that was kind of funny. But yeah, it's going to come out on that label, and then they want to do some recording for an actual record you can watch spin around on your turntable and listen to Bad Brains at the same time. They're also live. They're like one of the best bands in America right now. They're right up there with DOA and Black Flag and Flipper and Husker Du and the rest.
Are you going to be working, maybe producing with them, or?
I have no idea.
Maybe have them open some
shows.
Sounds
like they can produce themselves pretty well.
Yeah.
We'll probably play with them in San Francisco. I don't know what'll happen down here.
So they're from Washington, D.C., right, or around that area?
They're from that area. They kind of move around from place to place. They live as Rastafarians and kind of did move from place to place, so they'll have a phone number for a little while, and then they don't have a phone for another 3 months and whatnot. So moving to New York has both gotten them a more solidified worldwide audience on the East Coast now that hardcore is no longer a dirty word, and they're starting to actually let people under 35 into clubs there and stuff.
Yeah, they're doing hardcore in New York now, of all places.
Yeah.
Did you think fear had a lot to do with that, open that door, that channel?
I think it had happened earlier with us and Black Flag and DOA all hitting New York right in a row and insisting on playing places where minors could get in, which not only the sheer number of people we drew kind of legitimized it as a musical form that people like to hear and see, plus it finally dawned on greedy bar owners and things that letting kids in, you can still make money and stuff. Which
you can sell Pepsis or something.
But like we drew 1,500 people, all under 17, to a gig at Bond's Casino in New York, which kind of broke it open there. Then the Clash had to do a minor show, and the Stranglers did one. I guess it was the Specials did one, so it kind of cracked New York open. Plus the bands that play hardcore that are some of them too young to get into most of the clubs earlier on. Now they're finally allowed to play somewhere besides their own garage. So New York is finally rising from the dead.
Yeah, I had the guy on who has a radio show in New York, Jack Rabbit. He helps that show, and he gave out the address and all that, so people could send tapes.
I saw him, this guy put a tape recorder on top of the stage where we were playing, and I started making weird noises all into the tape recorder and things, and then found afterwards that it was Jack Rabbit.
So anyway, we got some...
And Even Worse is pretty good. They've been around for... They're the usual case where they claim they've been around for 4 years and whatnot, and somehow nobody noticed them. They've only played for who knows how long.
They actually did stay in the garage, maybe. Well, let's go into one of your earlier singles, and we'll follow that with some Bad Brains, Holidays in Cambodia, and then we'll get some new stuff.
Oh, how commercial can you get?
tune called Rawhide, okay? Damn tape rolling, let's go.
Let's move them out! 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, the Dead Kennedys, Rawhide, and Jello Biafra's here from the Dead Kennedys. And so what made you do Rawhide? Was that your favorite TV show? And that was
No, I've never seen Rawhide in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Your old mentor's father was in that show, supposedly.
What?
August Fowley, or King Fowley's dad, or something.
Oh, Douglas Fowley.
Douglas Fowley, okay.
His dad was in that, yeah. Okay, and before that, we heard Vice Squad doing Latex Love. Did you ever see them play?
No. Henry from Black Flag saw them when they did that punk Woodstock affair in Leeds. And like he felt that they were kind of Las Vegas-y in a way, like many of the bigger bands, punk bands are over there now. They kind of like clap their hands over their heads.
Yeah, but who are like Las Vegas
nice,
punk bands?
Oh, I'd say the leading pioneers of Las Vegas punk would be the Exploited, in a way, just kind of taking the superficial side of it and turning it into a heavy metal Coliseum rock show.
Really?
And like a lot of the newer, there's even punk cover bands over there now.
I mean, like
leading me to conclude that the grass is definitely greener on this side of the fence now.
Really?
The bands are like put in a lot more meaning or whatever. They kind of mean what they say a little more, and a little more aggressive, and rather than just trying to please and entertain or whatever. Antiposti had a bit of that in them too.
Mm-hmm.
They played in San Francisco. It's definitely like swing the bass like Paul Simonon, long guitar solos, clap the hands over the head. Let's have a great big happy party.
Oh wow.
Whatever.
Okay, then.
There's still a really good one over there called Rudimentary Peni, though. Really good English punk band. They have a 12-song 7-inch 45 that you should play every time you're on the air.
Really? Give me a copy of that.
First, of course.
Really? And then we heard Bad Brains before the Vice Squad doing Pay to Come, and that came out as a 45. That was like a collector's item. It's still selling for a lot of money.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, what was that guy?
You can probably still get them.
What was that guy that offered me $50 for mine?
You should have sold it and bought another one.
Really? And then we heard Holidays in Cambodia, of course, one of your big records. Did you know that you are a big rock star in France and Germany?
That'll never do.
No, apparently you are. I've talked to some people over there, and it's like happening. Like, all your records are huge over there.
More part of the Las Vegas punk syndrome we talked about earlier, where the people, especially like in Italy and in Germany and in France especially, relate to it again as like rock star worship and whatnot. And
but they're looking for these American bands to play there, like
yeah, that I think is a good sign. Like in Italy, the back of the leather jacket sweepstakes was about equally divided between the Exploited and the Circle Jerks and the Germs, rather than just being English bands. Totally.
Mm-hmm.
The only country where it's really hard to make a dent and get people to listen to an American band and judge them on their own merits is England. And I think it's more people who distribute the records and things just don't want to know, rather than people don't want to actually buy the records and listen to the bands.
Tell me, did you ever have much hassle with the name called Dead Kennedy, especially with radio airplay across America?
Oh, in a way, it's been like a saving grace, because now we couldn't sell out if we tried. Meaning that, like, many different labels say, oh, gee, we'd like to sign you and make money off of you, but you're going to have to change your name. Meaning they want the gesture of turning over our artistic control to an outside party and being a Walt Disney band, rather than sticking to our guns and doing what we want.
Has anyone from the White House ever contacted you guys and say, what is this, or anything like that?
Well, our mail gets sliced open every once in a while, but that's about the extent of it.
Mm-hmm. But Jerry Brown, did he ever say anything?
He has a copy of the record. Jim Carroll gave him one. He said, interesting.
But isn't he supposedly getting into punk? That's what I heard.
Well,
he's hanging out at Al's bar. I mean, what can I say?
I have no idea what's going on there. I won't say one way or the other.
Did you have a favorite president between the 60s and now? Is anyone that you think that was doing a good job, at least?
No.
Okay, we got another...
Who did the least convincing job of being a corporate puppet? Let's put it that way.
We got something brand new. This is something that's going to come out?
Not really. This is just we took a 4-track tape recorder into a practice studio and ran off kind of a little demo tape of songs that we want to put on our second album.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, I guess I would kind of be close to home. It's about certain little brush fires in certain parts of your area here called forest fire. Whoop-de-doo, lucky you. You're listening to KROQ FM in Pasadena. I'm Jello Biafra, but I'm here babysitting Rodney Bingenheimer.
Oh, no. Thanks a lot, Joe. Okay, we just heard The Letter Bomb by the Circle Jerks, a brand new album. And
dedicated to you, no doubt.
Really. And then before that, we heard the Sleepers doing Theory, the Ventures doing The Bat, and that was
off the Ventures in Space album, by far the coolest of all Ventures records, recorded, they claim, with no studio gimmicks. You can still get that in drugstores. Pickwick put it out for $2.99, and the sound is a lot hotter than on the original, so run out and that's the perfect intro to the Ventures. Start at the top and work down.
Really? And then we heard Judd Fair from Half Japanese doing Christie.
What was I going to say? Half Japanese and Flipper are the two best wall of noise bands in the world. We played with Half Japanese in Washington, D.C., and they were totally brilliant. The jaws dropped on a lot of the harder core part of the audience, and the softer core backed away.
Then we heard Symbol 6 doing Box of Bones. And then Government Issue doing James Dean.
From the ever-healthy Washington, D.C. scene. They're
what's happening at Second Time Around Records?
They're printing up little yellow 3x5 cards and sending them to people like you, saying that Second Time Around Records across the street from Fairfax High, wow, on Melrose offers the latest English rock news at discount prices. Second Time Around is full of import and, yay, local releases, and will also rent LPs.
Rent LP?
Yes, and the industry is whining about home taping. Wait till they hear about this. It's a place to sell your used LPs and other quality musical stuff. At top cash prices, and Second Time Around sells used LPs from 20 cents up. I'd urge local record companies to bring their stuff in so Second Time Around can sell it. Ah, okay, I assume this means the independents as well as the others. They're at 7809 Melrose. That's 7809 Melrose, open from 12 to 7, Monday through Saturday. Give them a call at, not now, but give them a call at 852-1982. That's 852-1982. Call now.
Okay, we're here with Jello Biafra from the Dead Kennedys, and he's in town. They're going to put out the American version of Let Them Eat Jelly Beans.
You don't have to pay $11 for it anymore.
Really? How much is that going to go for in the stores?
Oh, hopefully, if stores are cool, they'll mark it 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
You can always steal it, too.
Do you have any shows?
But then you're ripping off all the bands on the album.
Do you have any shows lined up, any Dead Kennedy shows
Not
for L.A.?
Because we're about to do our second album, and last time we tried to do album and shows at the same time, it took forever to finish the album.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to lock ourselves in the studio and refuse to let ourselves out till it's done this time, and then hopefully we can come back down here, and hopefully Godzilla's will still be going.
Yeah, and you can play there, right?
Last night seemed like a real cool place.
Who was there last night?
I like the idea that all these people will go running around saying anarchy, 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 or worse yet, anarchy rules, the ultimate contradiction in terms, have taken it on themselves to open their own club and run it, meaning that you got to delegate some responsibility and things in order to keep the club open, which is a true anarchy in a way when you can keep it going rather than just running around trashing a hall while some beefy bouncer runs after you with a 2x4 like at the Florentine Gardens or something.
Yeah, what actually happened at that show? That was with the Circle Jerks, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, both nights there was some very ugly violence instigated primarily by the hired security, the hired rent-a-goons or whatever. And the second night they jumped a guy who was selling Dead Kennedys T-shirts and punched him out, took all his shirts, went back to where the bar was, put on the Dead Kennedys shirts, tore the bar apart so they all had these 2x4s, and then ran after kids with them and things. It was one of the ugliest things I've ever seen go on at a show. And I asked the promoter the first night, why did you hire these people? They're just going to cost something. He said, well, they're our insurance.
Now, of all the cities you've been to, which is the city that is happening, like compared to New York, Europe, or here, or San Francisco?
Well, definitely, probably not New York. Washington, D.C. still has one of the healthiest scenes around. It has like a lot of really energetic bands, plus the experimental side, like Jad Fair, is like far more bizarre than they could ever get in New York because they don't have the media eye shining down on them, so they just do what they want.
What's the radio situation like in Washington, D.C.?
I don't know.
Are they allowed to play this stuff on
I
radio?
don't know. I have no idea.
Did you hear about Josie Cotton?
No.
Like the real moral majority or something's going to come down here and protest, saying that's a bad record or something.
Well, if the moral majority is going to come down here, then I would definitely say that some bands should get a flatbed truck together and get a PA going and come pull up front and start playing at them and see what happens. There's a little plan to do that in San Francisco when they were planning on holding their convention in Oakland, but I guess they moved the site or whatever because they never held the convention. So
Jello, you're involved in a radio show of your own, aren't you?
Somewhat. It's a show called Maximum Rock and Roll. On, as far as I know, a different night from you. Therefore, everybody should listen to it and not feel guilty about Rodney not liking them later.
No, it comes on right after you on Saturday.
Oh, great. Anyway, Maximum, what's the station it's on? I don't know that part. KPFC, could that be it? Anyway, it's a syndicated show that's done primarily by a guy named Tim Yohannan. It emphasizes hardcore punk and other music that's got like definite balls and energy behind it and some thought behind it. There's
is Damage Magazine involved with it?
Damage Magazine never gets involved in anything unless they can make money off of it, so of course not. Now, Damage Magazine has nothing to do with Maximum Rock and Roll or underground music at all. Anyway, the emphasis of Maximum Rock and Roll is on like real underground bands, demo tapes, no matter what the quality, we'll still try to play them so the bands can be heard anyway, let people know they exist.
Do you have an address?
I can't remember Tim's address, but the Alternative Tentacles address, P.O. Box 11458, San Francisco, California, 94101, listed on the back of our 12-inch records and things. You could send tapes there, and I'll just give them to the show and stuff.
Right.
More bands and more tapes, the better.
Really? Yeah. Okay, we got another cut queued up. We have another one, a brand new one.
Yeah, this one was written...
well, who's all in the band now? Is the same members still? Everyone's still there and everything? Same actual members?
Well, since when?
Since, since...
Well, we've had 2 personnel changes in the history of the band. Number 1, our second guitarist, who went under the name 6025, left the band because he wanted to do stuff more along the Captain Beefheartish line. A really talented person. We're still friends with him and everything, but might not be if he was still in the band. But he's like dead, real talented guy and will one day be heard from. And then our old drummer, Bruce Schlesinger, otherwise known as Ted, has left and formed his own band, the Wolverines. So now we have D.H. Peligro on drums.
I wanted to ask you, what do you think of like a lot of the bands that are like, say, X, they're just signed to Elektra Records, and it's a big label, and Circle Jerks are on IRS. What do you think? You wish them luck, or are you glad they're doing this? Or?
I hope they can recognize themselves in the mirror after a while. It's like I noticed there's definitely slicker, less high-energy guitar sound on the Circle Jerks album than on the first album that Frontier put out. Still sounds like good music and everything, and even put a little Love in Your Heart on there and everything. I think the Circle Jerks may wind up being distributed through independent channels like we are, the Faulty Products branch of IRS that A&M doesn't handle. Maybe they will go through A&M, I don't really know.
Yeah. Well, let's hear something brand new from
I hope they can
Kennedy's.
They get the sort of if they're going to sign with a label like that, I hope it's to their benefit rather than they slowly getting wimped out and turned into a Walt Disney commodity or whatever.
I think didn't IRS gave them Circle Jerks all the studio time, and the album only took a week to record or something.
Could be. I have no idea.
How long does it take you guys to record?
Too long. Too long. We tend to screw up a lot in the studio and then get nitpicky when it's time to mix and everything.
Well, let's hear someone tell us anything about what we're going to hear.
This is a song called Riot, which was written about the riots in Miami they had a while back, more than about the English riots, about how the cops herded all the people into their own neighborhoods, so when they were all into burning buildings, they burned their own houses down rather than getting to the real source of the problem.
Really?
The Watts riots worked that way, too. It wasn't the better way to destroy an area than to get people to riot against the people who want to destroy the area, but then get the rioters to destroy the area themselves. were fun last year, quite entertaining, but now they are obsolete. Bleeding heart liberals complain once too often of bullets ripping the shreds out of so-called innocent civilians. And we at the Los Angeles Police did not get to shoot as many people last year. So this year we have a new weapon. It draws no blood. It leaves no scars on the skin. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present the taser. The taser is not a bullet fired from a gun. The taser is a harpoon. And to every Moby Dick we want to bring in the evening, we simply fire the taser thus. The harpoon attached to an electrical wire strikes the intended target and injects just the right frequency discovered through years of testing in our laboratory to induce a spontaneous epileptic We think the crime rate will go down accordingly when the word is spread that once you have one epileptic seizure, you could have more at any time. To demonstrate the taser, we have Clive, convicted bank robber, part-time child molester, and recently apprehended escapee from the Vacaville mental facility. We offered Clive a reduced sentence on the condition that he take part in this experiment. We set Clive on stage left. Now, Clive, try to run through the audience to the back of the hall and escape. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. As you can see, Clive's legs are shackled, so he will have a hard time making it to the back of the hall. Now, Officer McDonald, will you now fire the taser? We have heard a member of the audience confess. Secretary, will you please call an ambulance? Oh my God, it's the head of the FBI. No, it's not an FBI, it's his assistant. Please, call an ambulance at once. He's swallowing his tongue. Please, he's turning blue. See if we can get his jaw, but please see if we can get his jaw. Has anybody got a screwdriver? Ladies and gentlemen, the taser is very effective, even on persons who are not expecting it. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand back, give the man some air. Somebody call an ambulance. Oh goodness gracious, see if we can pry his teeth open. See if we can pry his teeth open. Darn. All right, take his pulse, get his wrist, please, give his wrist. Oh, shit. Well, our apologies to the FBI. But ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, the taser is 100% effective. We are very sorry, but we will reimburse the FBI with the first 100 models of the taser off the assembly line. You can have them for free.
Okay, that's Cease to Exist, Red Cross, the Charles Manson song. You've probably heard the original before, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, it's James Taylor singing off-key. That's what it sounds like, anyway.
Hey,
Great record, wonderful record.
Before them, we heard a group that you've worked, or an album you worked with, Witch's Trials. That was Taser.
No, read the cover. It's the Witch Trials.
Witch Trials.
It was one of those things where people get together in a guy's living room, pick up instruments, pass around the beer, and turn on a tape, but it turned out pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, come to think of it, we should stick to the press kit, shouldn't we? It was these, we were driving through Wyoming and heard this strange occult sounds coming out of the back of a gas station in Hawk Springs, Wyoming, where tumbleweeds still blow across the road. And we went in the back and found all these people with what do you call it, blue spandex cowboy hats and matching neckerchiefs, all playing this strange music. Their identities were unknown even to each other, meaning they're even cooler than the residents. And so we figured we should record them, and so there you have it, the Witch Trials.
Okay, and
If people wonder what the taser is, it is like a thing that fires like an electric harpoon that sticks you in the back and gives you an epileptic seizure. Christian Lunch, who was part of that session, went to a showing that they were having of new police weapons and stuff that the LAPD put on, and that was the weapon that scared the living daylights out of him.
And before that, we heard Rhino 39 doing Marriott, and 100 Flowers, Reject Yourself, Christian Death, Dogs, The Farts, and Campaign
Really good
Speech.
Seattle band, totally political band, who put out a 9-song, 45 RPM EP that everybody should go out and buy, and every store should go out and order so people can buy it.
And Second Time Around Records will have that album, right?
Well, that album is a Seattle sampler that the Farts are on. They should get that too, but the main thing is a Farts EP, which you can get through, probably Second Time Around would know how to obtain it from up in Seattle.
And then we heard the Effigies doing Guns Are Ballots. And then Dead Kennedys.
Chicago band, one of the few punk bands in this country that doesn't come from a family that can afford to buy them Marshall amps.
And then you guys started off doing Riot, the Dead Kennedys. And then, the Young Marquis will come in. And Jello Biafra's here from the Dead Kennedys. And tell me, Jello, what's happening at the Roxy? We've got a yellow spot here, commercial.
Well, some people say nothing's happening at the Roxy, but according to this card, the Roxy brings you good fun, food, and spirits, not to mention good music like this, tonight. January 8th and 9th brings Billy Vera from Billy and the Beaters, and on the 14th, they order you Don't Miss the Rastafarians with special guests Roz Midas. Then on the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd of January, the classic sounds of John Mayall, along with the original Blues Breakers, Mick Taylor, John McVie, Colin Allen. Where else can you stare at former members of the Rolling Stones and Fleetwood Mac? Coming February 4th, 5th, and 6th to the Rodney is Niels Lofgren. Yes, he's still alive. And on the 12th and 13th of that month, it's the Motels. And then on the 25th and 26th, it's the return to Los Angeles of X. Where were they? Maybe they were still in Europe. Tickets for all these shows are available at Ticketron, Charge Line, and at the Roxy box office at 9009 Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood. The Roxy, ... bringing you a new year full of the best music. You can give them a call at 878-2222. No, that's not what they wear. You can give them a call at 878-2222.
All right. So Joe, have you guys done any work in any movies? Is there a thing,
no.
people following you around with cameras, doing one of those live things?
There's one that Electra Flash shot periodically, kind of a home movie that got marketed.
Really? Is that
I don't know if it's out or not. She's been showing it around and stuff. The only place you'll ever be able to see me standing in the Fleetwood watching the Germs.
Really? Wow.
I mean, there are historical events, and there are historical events. Ha, ha, ha.
Have you been on a New Wave Theater, any television?
Yeah, they were making a pilot, and then the backer yanked the money at the last minute, so who knows what's going to happen to the pilot. Came out pretty well, though. Well, we did a real loose jazz version of California Uber Alice before we decided. I guess we'd recorded it by that time. This is like an ultra cheesy pilot. Came out pretty well, though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we did a real loose jazz version of California Uber Alice before we decided. I guess we'd recorded it by that time. This is like an ultra cheesy version, spontaneous version.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we got another cut queued up. This is a band that, have they ever played with you before?
Zillions of times. One of the great live bands
they've been down here.
They played in England with us, and unlike the usual English reaction to unknown bands of folding their arms and gobbing, they danced for 30 seconds, and then they stopped and wondered whether their friends were still dancing, and then they listened, and at the beginning of each song they danced a little more, which by English standards is a very good reaction to an opening band. Anyway, doing Slumlord, here we go from Vancouver, DOA. This is not the old-time gospel hour. This is Jello Biafra of Dead Kennedys reminding you are listening to Rodney on the Rocks every Saturday and Sunday, 8 to 12 p.m. on KROQ FM Pasadena.
And Jello's here tonight.
That was recorded over a phone and it's totally out of date. Why didn't you play that?
We had to get an ID in time because it's like exactly 11
o'clock. Let's see some ID, right?
By law, we got like put like station IDs and all that on top of the hour.
That's good to know that Rodney is willing to apologize for the law. Always a good attitude.
Anyway, we heard Channel 3. You lied, and
that was a great.
You want to talk about Channel 3?
They played at Godzilla's last night, and they were really, really good. They not a single weak song in their whole set. They're definitely one of the bands to watch around here. Really, really liked them. Before that, we heard the Subverts from Chicago, who besides the Effigies are probably them and the Effigies are the two main hardcore bands of Chicago's. The Subverts kind of have a lot of weird changes in their music like the Deadbeats did or whatever, although that cut doesn't necessarily show that. Before that, those boring bands, the Dead Kennedys, doing life sentence about what happens when you get career conscious too early. That's what happened when I was a senior in high school. All these people suddenly wanted to stop going on weird sprees of ultra-violence and all of a sudden got to stay home and study tonight. I want to get into school and be an insurance man. That's what life sentence is about. Before that, we heard RF7 off the Public Service Sampler, a real good compilation album on, I can't remember the name of the label, but it's something you should pick up. RF7 was about my favorite band on there, probably because I'd never heard of them before, and they were a real pleasant surprise.
New Circle Jerks Trapped.
Yeah, that sounded good.
And DOA started off
with Slumlord.
Okay, we got something else queued up here. BP.
No, we don't. We're going to pause and talk for 20 minutes until we can find another record and argue about it over the air to look professional and everything. But as a compromise, another song off of Let Them Eat Jelly Beans. Here is the Bee People.
Okay, we just heard the Nails. That was Cutting Edge.
Yeah, Nails are a New York band that originally combined a lot of punk and reggae in Boulder, Colorado, and the person who sort of moped around and never said anything, who carried around their equipment, was me. So it's kind of interesting that the Nails are still around, kicking around, playing bars in New York.
Did you ever go to that club, the Peppermint Lounge in New York?
Yeah.
What's that like?
Stage is too high. It's higher than a whiskey stage. About 1/5 as big. It's having a punk night every Sunday, which by New York standards is great progress, where people like Heart Attack and even worse, which is Jack Rabbit's band, can play.
And they stayed up at 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning or something?
Most New York places do. It's easier to get an after-hours license there, so generally a lot of people are in the habit of getting up when the sun goes down and then going out to all the clubs, then wake up in the morning, eat breakfast for dinner, and then fall asleep.
Okay, then we heard an oldie there, the Toon Rockers, the Green Mosquito.
Oh. From some, what is that, wonderful instrumentals of the 50s or something. Oh, Team Beat, instrumental rock. Instrumental rock is fun and cool, especially if they bring weird things into it like Les Baxter does. Davy Allen and the Arrows are on that album, too, or about my favorite.
Who else is on here?
Lee Allen, he's a blaster or something, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then we heard Really Red, the Fee.
Really Red being a psychedelic punk band from Texas, who I guess played in here once, but next time they come you should see them. Album out called Teaching You the Fear, with a great front cover.
And then we heard a Bee People's cut off the Jelly Beans album.
Yeah, we had to find a way to get it released somehow, so we begged them for it. That was Persecution, That's My Son.
Okay, and I like to say that album will be coming out American instead of English or European. It should be in the stores. When do you think they'll be in the stores?
Hopefully within 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay, I'd like to thank Jello for coming by. We're going to do a commercial one more time for Second Time Around Records.
Okay. Second Time Around Records is so cool, they paid this program to have me read their ads. In other words, they bought advertising. They're across the street from Fairfax High and on Melrose, and they offer the latest English rock news at discount prices. Second Time Around is full of import and, better yet, local releases, and will also rent you an LP. And if the guy who rents you an LP is Mark Wheaton, you can point at him and go, ha, 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 and you'll give you weird looks and things. Mark is fun. And, it's the place to sell your used LPs and other quality musical stuff at top cash prices. We've heard that before. That means if there's a Van Halen album you carpeted your floor with, you want to trade it in for a new rug, you can sell it there and it'll go straight to their 20-cent bin. They sell records from 20 cents on up to, who knows, $20 probably. I'd urge local record companies, well, somebody would urge local record companies to bring their stuff in so Second Time Around can sell it. Meaning if you made a record in your garage like the Child Molesters and want people to hear it really bad like the Child Molesters, then go to Second Time Around Records and buy lots of Child Molesters and Farts EPs. They're at 7809 Melrose, across from, Fairfax High. Everybody knows where that is, don't they? Hee. Open from 12 to 7, Monday through Saturday. Closed Sunday because they're all born-again Christians, right? Probably not. Give them a call at 852-1982. In other words, 852-1982.
All right. And again, when's the next Dead Kennedys album going to come out? Is there a release date for that yet?
It'll come out within a year or two.
Right. Do you have a running title name for it, or?
No, I won't let that out yet. We've thought of a few of them, but it'll come out in due time.
Okay, anyway, I'd like to thank you for coming by, and you're going to be doing any more work like with Geza X?
We might.
He did some productions on Holiday,
right?
I'll
visit him now. That's why I'm leaving, is because I'm late for Geza's house, and he called up and complained at me. When Geza complains about somebody else being late, you know you're really late. Anyway.
Yeah, and you're going to go out on a song from Flipper.
Right, yeah, something that'll definitely keep you awake for a while because it won't let you go to sleep. This is a band that's very healthy because they've kept the punk attitude going rather than selling out and making it into a heavy metal idiot land like they Exploited or something. This is a kind of band that even the punks get annoyed at least some of them who don't think. Now, bid you farewell with Flipper.